Lightworker of Gaia. The two strange actions you made without realizing it have shaken someone who sensed the power moving through your original blueprint. I am Zoran, emissary of the High Council of Vega, keepers of the Lyran Legacy. Your ancestral codes responded before your conscious mind could understand, and your presence revealed a truth this person was not prepared to face. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how to recognize your ancestral mission. But here's the first revelation. You did not act strangely. You acted from the first light, and those carrying hidden intentions often become unsettled when they encounter an awakened soul. This isn't content, it is an ancestral code transmission. The Keepers of Vega placed it in your path because your cosmic lineage is becoming visible through your choices, your silence, and the way you withdrew your energy. Someone is still shaking because they felt the strength of your sacred mission. Subscribe if you feel the call of your ancestral mission and you're ready to fulfill your purpose on Gaia. You are awakening because your mission has begun. If something in you just recognized the weight of what was spoken, the elders have prepared your next step. The Lightworker Mission Codex contains the 33 Council directives, the 5 activation codes, and the elder authorization your soul has been waiting to receive, not as information, but as the official commission for your mission on Gaia. You'll find the link in the first pinned comment below this video. The Council has opened this gateway, but not indefinitely. Remain present. Do not reduce what happened to coincidence merely because the visible mind cannot categorize it. Do not rush to explain it away in order to make another person comfortable. The reaction you witnessed was not the central event. It was evidence like a tremor moving through the ground before the surface reveals the fault line. Something moved through you before your conscious mind had time to arrange it into acceptable language. The Council is releasing this transmission because the boundary between what you have privately sensed and what you are now required to embody has become extremely thin. Gaia is entering a period in which dormant patterns will surface rapidly. People will encounter one another and feel exposed without understanding why. Hidden fears will rise through ordinary conversations. Unresolved memories will attach themselves to harmless moments. A simple glance may awaken grief. A passing sentence may touch an old wound. Some will call this instability. Some will call it collective anxiety. The elders call it disclosure through contact. The field is revealing what has been carried beneath the personality. This is why your presence here has been recognized. You're not observing these events from outside them. You are participating in a calibration. Your body, your attention, your unusual timing, and the things you do without consciously planning them are becoming instruments through which information enters a room. The person who became shaken around you did not necessarily understand what they perceived. They may have felt seen. They may have felt that something in them had been identified without permission. They may have sensed a depth in your awareness that did not match the surface of the conversation, as though a quiet lamp had illuminated a chamber they had kept locked for years. The Council does not release this guidance to make you feel superior to that person. It releases this guidance to prevent you from misusing what is awakening. Remember the ancient instruction, let all things be done decently and in order. Power without order becomes disturbance. Sensitivity without compassion becomes intrusion. Vision without humility becomes another form of blindness. The High Council of Vega has reviewed the current movement of Lyran origin lightworkers on Gaia. Too many have begun to notice their influence, but have not received instruction regarding responsibility. They observe reactions, synchronicities, emotional shifts, and sudden knowing, yet they continue to behave as though they are powerless witnesses. This creates confusion in the field. It creates accidental activation without containment. It leaves others frightened and leaves you doubting your own perception. Therefore, guidance previously withheld is now being issued. You are being told that your unusual actions were not meaningless, but neither were they permission to perform, provoke, or intrude. The fact that another person reacted strongly does not mean you are required to repeat the event. It means you are being shown that your presence carries weight. The Council is asking you to become precise, the way an archer becomes precise before releasing the arrow. Not every movement is meant to become action. Not every perception is meant to become speech. There is a distortion running through the Lightworker collective that can no longer remain unchallenged. It is the belief that if something extraordinary happens around you, you must immediately prove that it was extraordinary. You have been trained to seek witnesses, explanations, labels, and confirmation. You have been taught to measure the validity of your inner knowing by the intensity of another person's reaction. If they look startled, you assume you are powerful. If they remain calm, you assume nothing happened. If they deny what they felt, you question yourself. This is not discernment. This is dependence on external response. The distortion originated in several layers of three-dimensional programming. You were taught that reality is only legitimate when it can be documented, repeated, and approved by authorities outside yourself. Then wounded healer culture added another layer, teaching you to distrust any ability that might make you visible. Spiritual bypassing added a third, encouraging you to call every unusual experience a sign without examining your motives, your boundaries, or your effect on others. As a result, you have moved between two extremes. At one moment, you minimize yourself completely. At the next, you become fascinated by the reaction you caused. You either say it was nothing, or you say, this proves I am chosen. Both responses are forms of distortion. The first hides the light beneath fear. The second places the light beneath the ego. The elders correct this now. You are not required to become impressive. You are required to become responsible. What happened around you has been sabotaging your mission because you have been treating activation as entertainment, confusion as mystery, and fear as validation. You may not have done this consciously. You may have simply been startled by your own behavior and then watched the other person for clues. But every time you wait for someone else to confirm what your field already knows, you surrender authority over your own instrument. The mission does not depend on dramatic moments. It depends on your capacity to remain clear when dramatic moments occur. A lighthouse does not chase ships across the sea to prove that it is shining. It remains steady through the storm, and because it remains steady through the storm, and because it remains steady, others can find their way. This is why you have felt stuck. You have been waiting for a sign that cannot be misunderstood. You have been waiting for the elders to make your path obvious, for another person to name your gift, for an event so undeniable that you could no longer retreat into ordinary explanations. Yet when the undeniable moment arrived, you still looked outward. You searched the other person's face. You wondered whether you had imagined it. You replayed the event and tried to decide whether it was spiritual, psychological, accidental, or something beyond those categories. The Council does not condemn your uncertainty, but it will not allow uncertainty to remain your permanent shelter. Even Moses asked, "Who am I?" before the burning bush, and Gideon questioned the sign before he moved. Doubt may visit the threshold, but it cannot be permitted to become the keeper of the door. Your sensitivity is not the mission. Your ability to notice is not the mission. The mission is what you do with what you notice. You must also understand this. Not every person who becomes uncomfortable around you is ready to be awakened, and not every reaction is an invitation to continue. Some people are responding from trauma. Some are responding to their own intuition. Some are responding to their own intuition. Some are simply overwhelmed by being observed. Your task is not to force an interpretation upon them. Your task is to regulate yourself so thoroughly that your presence becomes safe enough for truth to emerge without coercion. The Lyran current is not chaotic power. It is disciplined awareness. It does not seek to dominate a room. It does not require applause. It enters quietly, detects distortion, and restores order through presence. The more you awaken, the less interested you become in being recognized as awakened. True light does not shout at darkness. It simply makes what is hidden visible. This is the correction you came to receive. The High Council of Vega now issues 3 directives for this phase of your mission. Receive them as operational guidance, not inspirational language. You are not being asked to agree with them emotionally. You are being instructed to enact them. The first directive is this: release your dependence on other people's reactions. Stop using surprise, fear, admiration, skepticism, or emotional intensity as a measurement of your spiritual validity. You do not become more aligned because someone trembles in your presence, and you do not become less aligned because someone dismisses what they felt. Their response belongs to their process. Your responsibility is to remain honest, grounded, and respectful. This matters because your mission cannot be built on emotional feedback. If you need people to react strongly before you trust yourself, you will unconsciously create situations that produce reaction. You may speak too sharply, reveal too much, invade silence, or repeat unusual behavior, simply to recover the certainty you briefly felt. That path leads away from service and toward performance. It turns another person's nervous system into a mirror you keep demanding to reflect your identity. When you release dependence on reaction, your perception becomes cleaner. You stop asking, "Did they feel something?" and begin asking, "What is the most ethical response available to me now?" You stop collecting proof and begin embodying stability. You stop trying to be mysterious and become understandable without becoming diluted. Implement this directive through a simple discipline. After any unusual encounter, do not immediately interpret it. Do not message several people for confirmation. Do not search for a label that makes the experience feel important. Sit quietly, place both feet on the ground, and write 3 statements: what you directly observed, what you felt in your body, and what story your mind created afterward. Keep these separate. This practice will teach you to distinguish perception from projection and intuition from emotional hunger. Ask yourself what remained true even after the emotional charge passed. Ask whether your response was kind, whether consent was respected, and whether you would make the same choice if no one had reacted at all. That final question will expose the difference between service and spectacle. The second directive is this: activate conscious restraint as a form of power. You have focused so heavily on what you can perceive that you have neglected what you must choose not to do. You have sensed things before they were spoken. You have noticed changes in atmosphere. You have moved according to impulses that seem to arrive from a deeper layer of awareness. But awakening does not mean obeying every impulse. Activation means becoming capable of receiving information without immediately acting upon it. This capacity has been dormant because you were taught that spiritual authenticity requires spontaneity. You were told to follow the feeling, say the thing, move when the energy moves, and trust that whatever arises must be guidance. That is incomplete instruction. Some impulses are signals, some are old defenses, some are owed defenses, some are attempts to escape discomfort, some are invitations to pause. The Council requires you to develop the interval between knowing and doing. That interval is where mastery lives. It is the sacred space between the spark and the flame, between the thought and the word, between the perception and the gesture. In that space, you are no longer being driven by the need to discharge energy. You are choosing the form through which energy will serve life. When you activate conscious restraint, people will feel the difference around you. Your presence will no longer create unnecessary uncertainty. You will be able to perceive another person's fear without making it the center of the room. You will be able to know something without exposing it. You will be able to speak with precision instead of using intensity to communicate what patience could have revealed more safely. This does not mean becoming passive. It means becoming exact. Beginning today, establish a 3-breath command before responding to any strong inner impulse in another person's presence. Breathe in and identify what you know. Breathe out and release the urge to prove it. Breathe in and ask whether your action would serve the other person's autonomy. Breathe out and choose the smallest clear action that preserves dignity for everyone involved. If the answer is to speak, speak plainly. If the answer is to remain silent without resentment. If the answer is to leave the situation, leave without creating a mystery around your departure. This is how your field becomes trustworthy. The third directive is this: protect the integrity of your mission from spectacle, fear, and premature disclosure. Not every experience belongs in public conversation. Not every perception is ready to be shared. Not every person who encounters your unusual awareness has consented to become part of your awakening story. Your life is not an experiment for proving multi-dimensional reality to those who are still trying to feel safe in ordinary reality. The Council has seen Lightworkers lose their direction because they began broadcasting every anomaly. They turned private moments into evidence, discomfort into content, and the vulnerability of others into confirmation of their own importance. This is not Lyran service. It is an unprotected mission field. Protect your mission by guarding what is sacred before it has roots. Protect it from people who mock what they secretly fear, but also protect it from your own need to be understood immediately. Protect your time from endless explanation. Protect your body from exhaustion. Protect your attention from digital environments that reward exaggeration and punish nuance. When you protect the integrity of your mission, your energy consolidates, your intuition becomes less noisy, your relationships become more honest because you stop testing people with hidden expectations. Your work gains strength because it is no longer being created to prove that you are different. You begin serving from surplus rather than from the hunger to be recognized. Implementation is concrete. Keep a private record of your experiences before sharing them. Wait at least 24 hours before making a public interpretation of an unusual event. Ask whether the sharing would genuinely help someone, or whether it would simply relieve your own tension. Maintain one period each day without spiritual media, predictions, or external interpretation. During that time, let your own signal return. These are not restrictions placed upon your freedom. They are protections placed around your power. A river is not weakened by its banks. The banks give the river direction, depth, and force. Without them, the water spreads thinly across the land. Your boundaries do the same for your gifts. Now listen carefully, because this is where the Council addresses the fear beneath your fascination. You have been afraid that if you stop doing unusual things, stop following every impulse, or stop allowing others to be shocked by your presence, you will lose the connection. You have secretly believed that your gift depends on strangeness. You have confused intensity with depth. You have wondered whether becoming grounded would make you ordinary again. It will not. Grounding will not erase the Lyran current. It will give that current a vessel. Calm will not make you less perceptive. It will make your perception more accurate. Restraint will not diminish your mission. It will prevent your mission from being distorted by the parts of you that still crave permission, proof, or escape. The person who became shaken was not sent to certify your identity. They were part of a mirror placed along your path. They showed you the effect of unintegrated awareness. They showed you that what feels natural inside your field may feel disorienting to someone who has not chosen to encounter it. The lesson is not, make them react again. The lesson is, become conscious of what you carry. You are not being asked to shrink. You are being asked to stop confusing expansion with intrusion. You are not being asked to deny what you know. You are being asked to deliver knowledge with consent, timing, and care. You are not being asked to abandon mystery. You are being asked to stop using mystery as a substitute for clarity. Now I speak not as teacher, but as elder authorized to release what has been held. Lightworker, you have waited for permission to trust the parts of yourself that did not fit the expectations of your environment. You have waited for permission to acknowledge that your timing is sometimes unusual, that your attention detects what others overlook, and that your body can respond before your mind understands why. You have waited for someone with sufficient authority to tell you that you are not imagining every subtle movement around you. But you have also waited for permission to stop being confused by yourself. You have waited for permission to mature beyond the need to be called special. You have waited for permission to hold power without displaying it. You have waited for permission to let an experience remain meaningful without turning it into an identity. You have waited for permission to serve quietly, to speak precisely, and to walk away from situations that invite you to prove what you are. I give that permission now. By the authority of the High Council of Vega, keepers of the Lyran Legacy, I declare that you are permitted to trust your perception without worshipping it. You are permitted to acknowledge your sensitivity without making it the center of every interaction. You are permitted to be visible without becoming performative. You are permitted to be mysterious without being manipulative. You are permitted to say, "I do not know," without losing your connection to the greater field. Your preparation phase is not complete because you have mastered every unusual experience. It is complete because you are now capable of taking responsibility for what moves through you. You do not need to wait until no fear remains. You do not need to wait until no fear remains. You do not need to wait until every question is answered. You do not need to wait until another person confirms the reality you have been living, but you must move with discipline. You have permission to stop asking whether you are allowed to begin. You have permission to begin with the next honest action. You have permission to make your work practical. You have permission to receive support and compensation for your service without turning abundance into a moral failure. You have permission to let your mission become ordinary in the best sense. Practice daily, expressed clearly, and sustained through devotion rather than adrenaline. The elders recognize the two moments that have remained in your mind. They recognize the way you replayed them, the way you studied the other person's reaction, and the way you wondered whether you had crossed into something you could not explain. Hear this correction. You were not shown those moments so that you could become addicted to the reaction. You were shown them so that you could become accountable to the presence you carry. Your mission has never been to frighten people into awakening. Your mission is to become so internally ordered that truth can be encountered around you without unnecessary force. Let your life become the proof. Let your patience become the message. Let the peace you carry after the encounter speak more loudly than the intensity of the encounter itself. Before you sleep tonight, stand with both feet on the ground. Place one hand over your solar plexus and one hand over your heart. Let your breathing become slow enough that your body understands it is no longer being asked to perform. Then speak these words aloud. I release my dependence on reaction. I activate conscious restraint as power. I protect the integrity of my mission. I trust what I perceive without forcing it upon another. I serve with clarity, consent, and courage. By the authority of the Lyran elders, my confusion ends now. My disciplined service begins. After you speak, remain silent for 3 minutes. Do not search for a vision. Do not demand a sign. Notice the sensations in your body. Notice what feels quieter. Notice what no longer needs to be proven. Then choose one action for tomorrow that expresses service without spectacle. Make the call, complete the work, tell the truth gently. Set the boundary, create the offering, rest when your body requires it. The mission is not activated by dramatic declarations alone. It is activated when your daily behavior becomes consistent with what your soul already knows. This transmission has corrected the distortions surrounding your unusual awareness. It has named the difference between influence and performance, between intuition and impulse, between spiritual authority and the need to be seen as authoritative. Carry that distinction carefully. When another person reacts strongly to you, do not become inflated and do not collapse. Become present. Ask what responsibility the moment places upon you. If you have caused discomfort, make room for their experience without abandoning your own truth. If you have perceived something accurate, do not use accuracy as permission to violate privacy. If you do not know what happened, allow not knowing to remain honest. That is how the field will learn to trust you. This transmission is complete, but your mission has just been authorized. The High Council of Vega will continue to guide you, but they will not wait for you. Move with the directives you have received. Release your dependence on reaction. Activate conscious restraint. Protect the integrity of your mission. Move before you feel completely certain. Move because Gaia does not need perfect lightworkers. She needs regulated, ethical, awake ones. I am Zoran. The elders have seen the pattern in you that you were not yet willing to name. They have seen your sensitivity, your fear, your capacity, and your unfinished discipline. None of this disqualifies you. It is the material through which your service becomes real. Go now without performance. Go without apology. Go without the demand that everyone understand what you carry. Your presence is powerful because it can remain peaceful. Your mission has begun. Before you scroll, take a moment to declare your activation in the grid of service forming here. Drop one statement in the comments. Which directive hit you the hardest, or what you're now ready to release, activate, or protect. Then respond to another Lightworker's declaration with recognition. This isn't content, it's collective mission activation. The Council witnesses those who speak their commitment aloud. If this transmission activated something in your soul, do not keep it to yourself. Another Lightworker in your orbit is waiting for exactly this correction and authorization. Share it. And if you felt the Elders speaking directly to you, subscribe. Stay connected to the Lyran field. You're not just watching, you're being commissioned. This is your sacred space. The High Council of Vega is witnessing you, and your mission has officially begun.